Hi everyone, it's me Darlene. I am here with the third row of our Scrappy strip quilt. If you're not familiar with this series, there is a playlist link in the description of this video and also on the end screen, which pops up at the end of this video. You might remember that row number 1 was a strip set row, and it's very bold. Row number 2 was just an easy pieced row with big blocks and a little bit of sashing, and it's very light-hearted, you know, like happy day kind of thing. So I decided that I'm going to go both bold and subtle in the same quilt because I've already done that. In row number 2, I believe I showed you this parrot print. It's really, really beautiful, and I thought I have to use that at some point, and some of you thought the same thing. You're like, you can use that in a different row. So I'm going to. This is going to be very easy, but I don't know exactly how it's going to look. I didn't practice it or anything. We're just going to be making some huge half-square triangles. It's going to be very easy. The only thing is, because I have a directional print, I'm not going to be able to turn my block. I want them all to be, you know, the right direction. If you use non-directionals, you'll have a choice and you can turn your half-square triangles to make any, you know, pattern you want, any design. But I'm going to be limited, and that's okay. So what I'm going to do, these are 10-inch squares, and I was going to trim them down, but I don't know, it can be a nice tall row. The thing is, we will lose some on each end if we use all 6. I will trim them down a bit, I think, once they're half-square triangles. But, you know, we don't want more than like 43 inches across, and we're going to end up with 6 squares, and I want to use all 6 because I have a pattern in mind. So let's just get started. Pick out 6 10-inch squares. You know, there might be a little bit of waste in this one. We could have started smaller, but I'm going with 10 because that's what I have, and I want you to start with the same. You can have 6 totally different 10-inch squares and make it a very scrappy row, but I'm going to be using 3 of the parrot prints, and I picked this nice purple to do the half-square triangle. So I'm only using 2 prints total, 3 and 3. And again, I have a directional print. You don't have to, but if you want a directional print, then what you're doing is you're laying your square as you're seeing it. It looks right. It's in the right direction. So put that in front of you like that. Take your other 10-inch square. I don't have a direction on these. Put it on top. Now I'm going to be drawing my line from the top left. I have to know which is left. Top left to bottom right. I'm going to be doing that to the, you know, the 3 sets that I put together. Can take a pen or whatever. It's not going to show because we are going to be cutting on that line. Let me get my long ruler. That'd be a little bit easier. So I'm just drawing a line from the top left to the bottom right. And I'm going to do that to the other 2 and the other 2. So let's do it again. It's facing in the right direction for me. And this, top left to bottom right. And it's okay if nothing comes out perfect because we are going to be trimming. That's the joy of starting bigger than we actually need. One more, and then I'm going to the machine, and I will not be taking you to the machine with me because you don't have to have your hand held, whoops, for that part. If you don't want to draw a line, you can fold on the diagonal and press. Okay, I'm going to go to my machine, and I'm going to sew 1/4 inch on each side of that line. As soon as I sat down at the machine, a lot of life stuff happened. So I'm not going to be able to finish this in this video because now it's much later. But what I did is I did sew 1/4 inch on each side of the line. And you know, it dawned on me, if I wanted these smaller, I could have done like 1 inch on each side of that line. You know, and that would have made the blocks a little bit smaller, but I didn't. I did 1/4 inch on each side, so that's what you're going to do too. I will cut these quickly and press them, and then I'll show you. This is what I have. I have 3 half square triangles with the birds on the top right and 3 with the birds on the bottom left as you're looking at it. And the design I wanted is like this. I wanted this and then this, and you make the whole row that way because I'm limited because of the fact that I have the directional print. So it would make like diagonal things like that. But if I use all 6, it's going to be way too wide, you know, like a little less than 60 inches. So I can't. So I either have to trim or maybe just use 5. I will decide, and I will come back with part 2 of this, and we will have another row done. Thanks so much for watching. I'll be back with more soon. Bye!